and welcome to a video tutorial in which we will build townhouses. Yeah, you know, those 3, 4, 5 stories tall townhouses which you need on most layouts, at least as a kind of backdrop. And I've been given the opportunity to try out a new laser cutter doing this. It's the Creality Falcon 2 Pro. And we had I would say half a year ago, I tried out another laser cutter, and then I built a 50s style Swedish station, and I got some comments which was kind of interesting for that video. And that was like, hey, you're using like a laser cutter which is kind of expensive machinery, and then you're putting in very expensive material and adding 3D printed, you know. How could you think that anyone would do this? And yeah, you're right. So this time I'm replacing this. This is the Northeastern scale lumber pre-engraved sheet. I checked, it costs 120 euro or 120 US dollars per square meter. So I agree, very expensive. And we're replacing that with this. This is a 3mm HDF, which is a variant of MDF. This board is €3 square meter. So cost saving by 97%. And as if that was not enough, I had a pizza for lunch. Good cardboard. So we're going to reuse this pizza box to make window frames and other details for the house. So there you got. Nice piece of machinery, low cost material, high-end output. Let's get started.
The laser cutter has quickly become a creative favorite tool for the family. I will show you some examples of what we've done so far with this Falcon 2 Pro. These are pot mats cut out from 12mm plywood, both decorative and fits in each other during storage. I invited a few friends to run some trains here on the 9th of April, and then I made these drink coasters. Both useful at the event, of course, but also something to take home and remember the occasion. These were engraved and cut in 3mm MDF. So were these. We were invited to a friend for dinner, and this is their dog, Ares. So I made these drink coasters for them. So what makes this Creality Falcon 2 Pro stand out from the rest? Well, this fully transparent red cover protects your eyes from the laser and also keeps any odors from the laser cutting inside the machine. Built-in forced ventilation and this built-in camera which helps you to optimize material usage, especially when cutting in more expensive materials and cutting in parts which already been cut from. There's a small panel on the laser where you can control things, and on the laser head there are 3 indicators. This one checks that the lens is free from contamination, this one checks that there's no fire going on, and this one verifies that the beam of compressed air around the laser is operative. These 3 monitor systems ensure both safety and cutting quality. A third very nice feature is this drawer, where all the scraps lands, as well as any smaller parts you have cut out. This, compared to a honeycomb, vastly simplifies both the work with the small parts, but also cleaning, because this area under the laser cutter gets really dirty and it's kind of smelling bad, so it's essential to be able to clean it properly. And as I said, the kids love creating stuff with this machine, and much because of the simplicity of doing it. Let's make this example project. This is a keyring deco with a familiar figure. Take a photo of the drawing you just made or download the beer ready-made from internet. Your photo opens in the Lightburn software, where you can scale it to size. Here you can also decide if it's going to be engraved or cut out. My beer will do both. It will be engraved and cut out. And the cutout will be made from 3mm MDF, which I have spray painted with a yellow acrylic paint. So it is water-based paint you can use indoor. So I'm putting the material into the laser cutter, closing the lid, and then the engraving starts. It's a good rule of thumb to do all the engraving first and then do the cutout. This is because the cutout might move the object slightly, and then your engraving will be misplaced. So now we have cut it out and made the engravings. All we need to do now is to paint the sweater in red like this. This project from start to end was like 15 to 20 minutes in total. Anyway, creating something unique. But of course, I did not buy this machine to make keyrings. I got it because I want to build miniature city houses for my model railroad. And the tools I'm using besides the laser cutter is Google Earth. On Google Earth you can see all the buildings in the entire world from the top, so you get an idea of what the roof look like and what the footprint of each building is. And also with the street view you can check the details, where all the signs and all the bits and pieces you need to know is in the building. And as said in the intro, I'm making these buildings from really low cost material. This is a 3mm MDF. And in this material I'm cutting out walls and roof. The window frames are made from cardboard, and well, why not use a scrap cardboard like this old pizza box? It's actually a very good cardboard in it. The only thing we need to do is to prepare it with some spray paint. So for this I'm using Liquitex water-based paints. It's very nice because then you can paint inside without a lot of odor. And once dry it looks like this. So not perfect, but good enough for window frames. So I put my cardboard inside the laser cutter, and now we're going to make use of this camera, because now we can upload the footage from that camera to see exactly where we placed our material, and then we can adjust the position of the window frames, so we get all the window frames to be cut out in the material. And this way you can optimize usage also from materials, as said, which we already cut parts from. Previously I've been making these window frames either from styrene strips or using a engineering drawing tool, which I actually draw the frames onto the transparent plastic. But this is what it looks like when all the parts have been cut out in the laser cutter. So up front here we have the window frames, the doors, and to the right you have the walls and the roof. So first thing we're gonna do now is to paint the walls. And to get some texture into that, I'm using a roller. This roller is available from Noch to get texture for gravel roads, but it's also very useful when painting buildings with plastered facade. The paint I'm using is low-cost Liquitex water-based acrylics. And this is scrap plastic from some IKEA item I bought in the past. I think it was a roller curtain or something. And in this building it will be the transparent window panes. So I glue this plastic directly on the rear side of my MDF using facet glue and some accelerator spray, also called kicker. With that done, all you need to do is put some more facet glue onto a surface and then dip the window frames into it and then just drop them into the holes, because the fitting between the window frames and the walls when laser cut is fantastic, so you don't have to do anything more than that. In the past, before I started to make laser cut, I cut these by hand using scalpel, and then it's necessary to go about a different way. Then you make two parts, so a rear part and the front part, and these two parts are glued together. I typically use wood glue, PVA glue, which I apply using a paintbrush like this, and then I fit the front frame onto that. This way the rear piece will cover, so you don't get any light leak through there. And this is of course especially useful if you have illumination inside the rooms of your house. So once all of the windows are fitted in a section, it looks like this. So here are the rear side, and from the front you see just the window frame like this. And from this point on, the assembly looks very much like it has always done from, I don't know, the 80s when I started to build houses like this. So the edges in between joints is plastered or used in joint putty. The roof of this building at Rörstrandsgatan has sheet metal roofing with standing seam. And in order to create that, I've cut slots in the roof, and I've cut these from just standard 80 gram copy paper, and then I add a backing of carpenter's tape, and then I just stick the cut out pieces of paper into the slots, and we'll get something that looks very close to the standing seam. And all you need to do then is to coat it, spray coat here with the matte acrylic black paint. And once ready, it looks like this. All we need to do after that is of course to plaster with joint putty, and then cover with a new fresh layer of paint. And then, well, most of the house outline is ready. Now we can start with the decos and also do some detailing. All the graphics you possibly could need for this is downloadable free of charge from internet. So just scale it to the size you need and duplicate it to the length. And then it's just to cut it out and glue it in place using wood glue. So this is the row of stones on this Rörstrandsgatan 16. But there should also be window awnings here. There are 2 cafes in the bottom or in the floor level. So I'm making these from paper. This is cardboard paper, which is blue to start with, but the blue color is a bit too bright, I would say. So I'm mixing a darker, more royal blue color here, and I'm painting using a flat wide brush. And once dry, we can glue these in place onto the wall. And for that, I'm using my facet glue with the kicker spray to get some acceleration into the bond here. And when ready, it looks like this. And in the same manner, you can add interior, floor, walls, and everything you need.
All right, so a laser cutter these days is not more than a new steamer from Marklin or wherever you're buying it. So, you know, it looks like a lot maybe, but it's actually a very nice device to have on hand, not only to build townhouses, of course, but all kind of details. And as mentioned earlier, it's also great fun, a creative kind of tool for the entire family. I really like it. I hope you have used the information provided in this video. If this channel was in cooking, fashion, or something else, no one would have to contribute to it. But since it's a niche type interest, modular railroading, it's dependent on the donations from you viewers. So if you want to be one of the good guys, get over to Patreon, set up the support counter there from $1–2 per month, or make a one-off donation using the PayPal dialog found in the video description below. And if you're not yet a subscriber, subscribe, enable that little bell, and you will get the notification once the next video gets published. Until that happens, see ya.